Welcome, awesome students. So in order for us to continue with the course, we need to install a couple tools. Okay, I want to make sure that we have PHP somewhere or Apache somewhere on Windows computers to make this work. So you go to Google real quick, and we're going to visit apachefrench.org to download PHP. And basically it's a stack with MariaDB, PHP, Perl, and just a couple tools there. So I'm going to be downloading version 7.4.4, 7.4.4. All right, I'm going to download that version. Okay, I'm going to run it. That's the first tool that we need to make sure that we have. Now, if you guys have the old one, make sure that you update it, okay? Because if we are going to be jumping into Laravel 7 and up or 6 and up, we're going to need PHP 7.2 and above. All right, so it says here that we need to turn off UAC. So I'm going to go ahead and type in here UAC, and that's this guy right here, and just put it all the way down, okay? Just to make sure that XAMPP has permission to do some stuff there. I'm going to click Nets. My SQL is just going to be installed and a couple other things in here. Nets is going to install in the C drive in the XAMPP folder. Nets is going to create that folder for us. And I uncheck that, Nets, and voila. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to pause the video. If you see that this finishes faster for me, is because I paused the video so you guys don't have to wait. Okay. So this took, to get to this area here, it took around 1 minute. All right. So it's asking me if Windows Firewall has blocked some features of this app. Okay. So I'm going to say allow access. This is in Windows 10, guys, that I'm doing this. Okay. So I allow access. And that's going to finish up doing this stuff. Done. It says if I want to launch the control panel right now, I don't want to do that because I want to finish up installing other tools. So we are done with XAMPP. Let's get and download the Nets tool. The Nets tool for us could be the Git. This is the version control tool to save versions of our projects as we go along. But I also like to use the shell for this. Instead of using the command prompt, the Windows command prompt, this one, we got to get used to using Linux-like commands instead of using Windows-like commands, because PHP likes Linux stuff. Okay, it really, they relate very good. Okay, PHP is an open source technology, Windows is not. But anyway, if we go back here, there are a couple different IDEs that I want you guys to think about installing. Okay, I'm using PHP Storm. It's a paid version, but if you guys go to their page right now, you can download PHP Storm for a 30-day free trial. This is the time I'm recording this video. I don't know, maybe they got a shorter period now, I don't know, but it's free 30-day trial. Okay, so you can go ahead and download this. Now, if you already have this and your license expire and you want a good IDE or a good code editor, the next one is Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is a great editor and it's completely free. Okay, so if you want to use that, you can. I can show you how to use that later, but it's the same thing as PHP Storm. But anyway, so I'm going to download Git. Let's start with Git. It's the next tool. Download it and install it. Okay, let's come back here. Let's run it. Let's run this. Nets. I want to add an additional icon on the desktop. That's the name I want. It's going to use Vim Editor. Now, if you guys have like Visual Studio already, you can choose use Visual Studio Code as Git's default editor. Right here, this choice, if you have Visual Studio downloaded already. Okay, so it's up to you. You can go ahead and download it and install it. And I'll show you right now. Let's just do it real quick so that way you guys can see how this works. It's a really good IDE or editor. Just in case, it's always good to have a couple of different ones so that way you guys can measure this and measure their strengths and weaknesses. If I launch it, you're gonna see that it's gonna be very similar to the one I'm using in the course. And it's gonna have the sidebar right here. Okay, but anyway, I'll give you a little, I just want to choose that here in the Git. Let's come back here. I want to choose use Visual Studio Code as Git default editor. It's not finding it. So that's why I wanted to start that again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that Git installation again, so that way it finds it. Okay, so I'm just starting it again. Nets, and now if I go to that, we should be good. We have the Nets button available. Okay, so let's come back here, and that's fine. That's fine. That's correct. Beautiful. I'm done with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch it. Nets. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to options here, and I'm gonna make my text a little bigger. I just want to show you guys how to do that. Apply. There you go. Now apply it and save. Okay, so now if I do this php -v, it says it cannot find PHP. Okay, do not worry too much about that. We're gonna fix that in a minute. So this is the Git. We have that installed already. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find Composer. That's the Nets program. Okay, so download Composer real quick for Windows, of course. Composer dash setup.exe executable. We can run it from here. Install for all users. Nets. Now we're gonna find that executable with Composer. Okay, XAMPP. It's in the XAMPP folder, PHP folder, and this is the executable right here. If you go, and that's very important to know. Okay, if you go to your C drive right here, let's go to the PHP folder. This is the executable right here. It's always good to know, where is it? Right here. It's always good to know what that executable is. Okay, there are a lot of compilers out there, a lot of tools that use it. Okay, so let's go and click Nets. Nets, install. So we're gonna recap the programs that we have installed. Don't worry, guys, if I'm going a little too fast. I'm going fast because I know some of you already have these applications already, and also you can lower my speed in the video, the speed that I'm going. You can pause the video, you can rewind it, or you can go ahead and just do it over again. Okay, great thing about video. Finish. Okay, now PHP Storm. I'm gonna install it real quick. You won't see me doing it, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to download it because I want to show you both editors. It's always good to have two of them. So I'm going to install it, and I'll be back like in one. Actually, I'm gonna do it with you here, so that way you can see me. If you want to skip this section, just go a couple more minutes, seconds up to the front of the video if you want to skip this part. I'm gonna click Nets. All right, create desktop, 64-bit launcher, because I know my Windows computer is 64. Create associations. I want you to associate PHP stuff, even CSS and HTML. That's great. That's fine. Let's just associate PHP stuff. All right, Nets, install. Mine just finishes installing. I'm now going to run it. Okay, I'm just gonna click finish. All right, perfect. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind, for those of you that downloaded XAMPP with me, if we go to the File Explorer, let's go to the File Explorer right here and see this PC or your C drive, XAMPP, And here we should find the control panel for XAMPP somewhere here. XAMPP control. If we double click on that, okay, we're gonna get this. But let's go ahead and right click on it, and I'm going to create a shortcut. Let's see if create shortcut. It should be somewhere on my desktop, right? Oh, right here. So I'm just gonna drop it in there so that way I can launch it from there anytime I want. Now, some of you are gonna have some of these problems here starting Apache. I'm gonna start it, and mine is going to start, and MySQL is going to start as well. I'm gonna click allow access. Okay. Now, some of you might have problems with Apache, which is a web server that's going to help us start our application in the web browser. Now, this means that your port might be used by another application. What you need to do is you need to stop it, okay, and try to change the port, okay? So all you have to do is change the port. I'm not going to show you how to do that in this lecture here. If you guys have a lot of problems, I'll make another lecture fixing this. But a little quick Google video should show you, or Google article should show you how to change your ports here. As a matter of fact, we have, if you go to Coding Faculty, codingfaculty.com, okay, my website, you don't have to pay anything. Just go to free courses and go to XAMPP port, fixing port conflicts right here. Enroll in the course, and it's, I believe it's only one lecture. It's going to show you how to do that if you want to do it the easy way. Okay, if you want to go ahead and fix that, if you have a port problem. But anyway, so we have all the tools that we want. Now, if I go ahead and start Git Bash, and I do PHP-V, we see that we have PHP now. Now we have a link to it. Okay? So if you get this, you are good to go. So let's do a recap real quick. Right now, what this is doing, PHP-V, is just showing me the version of PHP. And I have 7.4.4. So a little recap of the tools that we need. First, we download XAMPP, right? That's our PHP. It's included in there with MySQL. Okay. Second, we download Git. Third, we download Visual Studio and then PHP Storm. Okay. Very easy. Now, quick, I'm going to show you real quick how to use this. If we open Visual Studio, and I have let's say I have a folder right here. I'm going to create a folder. Let's go and create a folder. I'm going to call this folder CMS, just as an example. Okay? It's an example. Now, as a matter of fact, let's just call it something else, because I don't want you guys to confuse in this with the course example. And I want to open that folder. I just click there on the left side. You see my sidebar there. Open on the left side. Let's go to desktop, example, select folder. Now that's Visual Studio right there. I can right click, create a new file, or I can come here. You can see new file, new folder, refresh, and collapse. Okay, I create a new file, index.html. Now you can write your code right here. So what I did here, exclamation, tab, and it gave me some syntax to start. See that? All right. So let's do that in PHP. And now, another thing that I wanted to show you. If I click right here on the blue symbol, you're going to have your terminal. Which is the same thing that you have right here in Git Bash. On Git, you have it right here. Now, what I want you to do here is I want you to click here, select default shell, and click Git Bash. Now, I want you to close this, and I want you to reopen it again. Okay, and now you can see that the Git Bash is your tool right here. So you can do the same thing that we did outside right in here. But the difference is that this is always going to start in your folder. You don't have to physically go there like you go in Git Bash. Okay, so this is with Visual Studio Code, a really great editor, free, completely free. But the one that I might be using for all my courses is PHP Storm. Okay, so I'm going to launch it now and show you how I use it. Okay, don't send that information there to them. I don't like to send information. I'm gonna choose this Darkula, okay, and I'm gonna skip remaining and set defaults. Okay, evaluate for free for those of you that are evaluating, and then you need to put your email there. Okay, but I didn't actually, I didn't put my email there. That could just install without putting the email, so that's great. I'm gonna open, and it should show me my desktop somewhere here. There we go. And then the example folder, and okay. And voila. Okay, the same thing. To open a folder, all you need to do is go to File. Okay, it's indexing right here. So when it's froze, because this editor here or IDE actually is going to require a little bit more power from your computer. So make sure that you have enough power. So if I click File and Open, I can go ahead and find that, okay, just like I did before. So it says Windows Defender might be impacting your build of in IDE. I click Fix, whatever, and you can go ahead and fix it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the terminal. Terminal is down here, and as you can see, we are using the terminal right there. Okay, so let's try to set the default editor that we want here, because we don't want to use PowerShell from Windows. We want to use the Git Bash terminal. Now, this terminals that you see on every IDE or editor that I show you is the same terminal as the one outside. This is the same terminal as this terminal right here, but we want to change it to use, and when I say same terminal, I mean same shell tool right here. Same shell, same bash, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we want to use this one here, Git Bash. So let's go to Files and Settings, and I haven't done this for Windows, and I'm gonna find terminal here. Terminal. Okay, terminal. And now what we need to do is find the shell path that we want to use. Right now it's using the command prompt, but what we want to use is the one in XAMPP. So actually on Git. So let's go to our home, and let's go to program files, and let's find Git. And inside Git, it should be under bin and bash. Let me see if it's this one. I think it's this one here. Let's see. sh.exe. Okay, and okay. And now let's take that off. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So now how can you know that this is the shell that we want? Well, we say php-v, and it should give us some type of indication that we're using PHP. Okay. We can also do ls, and it should give you something there. Okay. So very easy. You go to settings. Here you type in terminal. You go double click here and just make sure that you give the path of the executable. C program files git bin sh.exe. Okay, perfect, guys. So we got all the tools that we want, that we need to do this course. And for those of you that have a port problem, you know where to go to find a solution, or just read some type of article. And any other problems, you can post it in the discussion. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next lecture.